Are you an athlete that's looking to get the most out of one specific sport? Whether you're a single sport athlete or you're playing multiple sports, if you have one sport that you want to take to the next level, college or pros, this is the video for you. Coach Jeremy Hirschkorn here. I'm at Jet Movement Academy in Bellingham, Washington. Let's dive into what a year is going to look like for you to get the most out of your sport. Preseason sport prep, in-season maintenance, off-season recovery, human optimization. Some of the problems that we're facing the most with athletes is either overuse because you're playing too much and not training enough, or you're not doing enough to train to take you to the next level. So what we want to do is we want to look at those 4 portions of the season to get the most out of those to ensure that you're excelling at your specific sport. Let's dive into each section now. Preseason, okay, sports prep. That's when you're starting to gradually build the volume and intensity of sport-specific work, okay? What skills does my sport demand? What demands do those skills place on my body? Okay, so what strength, what power, what agility do I need to perform the tasks that my sports require? Okay, we need to understand those. We need to understand how the body maneuvers through those, okay? How the body moves us to be able to do those things, how to train those effectively. And most importantly, okay, we need to understand the negatives that our sports create and work within those imbalances. And we need to allow for enough time to work through those so that we're not in a rush, okay? I feel like preseason is a time when you can place almost too much of a mental demand on yourself to be in a rush to get to a certain place, and that can create injury and problem along the way because we're just in such a hurry to be ready for the season. So we need to space that time out, understand how long it's going to take to gradually build us into that proper shape to play our sport. And that should include mental practice as well. How are you going to sharpen yourself and get into that game mode so that when the season starts, you're ready to fire all the way? In-season work, okay? I consider this a maintenance phase, right? If you're thinking about strength, power, explosiveness, those kind of things, quickness, agility, we want to be building those things in the preseason so when the season happens, we need to maintain those. We don't want to lose sight of all those gains that we've created in the preseason and get weaker as our season goes along, but we're always also probably not going to be adding a great deal of strength and power during the season. We're going to be focusing on making skill adjustments so that we can perform our sports the way that we need. So that in-season work, okay, in terms of off the field, that stuff needs to support our in-game and in-practice needs without losing anything. Off-season, okay, this is where we need to address our recovery after a long period of playing and having a busy schedule. We need to just flat out rest, okay? You need that time to just not do a whole lot of activity at all, you know? And for some athletes, that might just be a week-long process where you just need a break, you need extra sleep, you need to let your body recover. It might just be that short of a period of time, but it may take longer to get yourself back, get your energy back, all of those type of things. More importantly than just that rest is correcting, okay, the imbalances that sports create, okay? Ultimately, Mother Nature and the laws of Mother Nature will always dominate the rules of a sport, okay? So when we play a sport, we're working within the rule book, okay? We're doing activities that coincide with a man-made activity, okay? Those don't always line up with the demands of Mother Nature and gravity and all of those kinds of fun things. So what we need to address in that off-season or recovery period is how do we start to reverse and correct some of the imbalances and problems that a sport can create within our body, okay? This is a time where you got to really dive in and be smart about how you recover. And unfortunately, I see a lot of players just take some time off, go play a different sport, okay? Or take time off and then dive right back into the sport and start working on skills again after maybe a month, 2 months, right? For baseball players, this happens a lot between summer league and fall league, okay? Or summer, maybe they don't play fall, and then winter, they go right into their preseason training and start getting back into throwing programs and hitting and all of that kind of stuff. You need to take some time to go back and become a better human, a better athlete. And that's going to lead us into our next piece. All right, our last piece of this puzzle is gonna be the human optimization chunk. Okay, this is gonna blur the lines between the off season and the preseason. Okay, does a little bit of both, right? We're gonna be working on getting ourselves better at just being athletic, faster, stronger, more explosive, all of those kind of things, without thinking about how that applies to our sport. Just purely what our human body needs, what are those, demands that everyday life has, what are we made, physically to do, okay? What does our body really truly need, regardless of sports? Nothing to do with sports, just aligning our body, moving the way that we want, joint health, gut health, okay, posture, mental clarity, all of those other things, those other pieces of the puzzle that have nothing to do with what sport you play. We want to make sure that we're dedicating a chunk of our year to those specific things. And this is where I have a tough time with people that play multiple sports back to back to back, okay, 2 or 3 sports, or try to stretch their season out and play all year round. They don't get a good focused chunk on just this kind of stuff, okay? We need that portion of the year where we're just trying to be better as a human and not specifically as an athlete. I hope that helps you plan out your year to become a better athlete at your favorite sport. I'm not saying you have to specifically play that sport only. I'm not saying that you should play multiple sports. I'm saying that you need to find a way for this 4-piece schedule to work for you so that you're eliminating the risk of injuries, you're getting better at your sport every day, and you're just gonna be healthier, more long-term, and you're not gonna hit that wall at some point where injuries start to come, or even when you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever, regretting all of those sacrifices you made to be a better athlete that are costing you in your older age, okay? Plan it out, look at your year. How do we fit these 4 categories in there? If that means playing other sports along the way during that, amazing. If it means you're gonna play one sport and you're gonna try to make it year round, fit this in, make this work, and you eliminate those detrimental things that are happening to these one sport or multi-sport athletes that aren't taking care of their bodies. I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments. Hook me up with some comments, okay? Let's get interactive with this thing and let's chat about it. I'd love to hear your input as well. Babe.